So, 2020 is coming to a close, and I was just reminiscing in this art journal that I started this year. And it's really one of the things that got me through the first few months of the pandemic. So, this is a journal that I started in 1996 as a journal. So, I covered it up, but it says 7/1/96 through 1/1/97. So there is a history here of those months in my life. A history which, I don't even need to revisit. So I decided to work with it and cover it up, because when I do art journaling, I do like to start with writing. I like writing on the page or something on the page, but I especially like handwriting in there. So I wrote over it with 2020 and 2020. So much better than 1996 and so much worse. So, all things being relative, right? So here's a tour of my one of my art journals. This is a smaller one that I use for classes. This is someone you may recognize if you've taken a lot of classes. And some of this, and this is good to remember when you're creating art generally, but especially journaling. I mean, it doesn't have to be great art. It can be a hot mess. I mean, this is kind of freaky. This is, I collaged my face onto here. And at some point it was looking really good, the whole project, and then I took it too far, and now I just look kind of freaked out coming out of this mess. But that's okay. And these are mostly oil pastels. And some of them have many, many layers of oil pastels on them. Most of this is just intuitive, just stuff that came out while I was just wanted to create something. So some of them have more meaning and purpose, some of them not. Some of them I wrote over the art. So I painted over the writing and then wrote over the painting. Some of this is just coloring, you know. It's just sitting on my couch and coloring, seeing what comes out. These two were both based on famous paintings. Can you guess what they were? Some of these will look familiar because they were also done for art journaling classes. So sometimes I work out class ideas in this journal. That was for the censorship class. And some of this ends up being used in my marketing. I used this for the as a background for the Artist's Way art journaling class. And then here, this is where I got a new set of oil supplies, and I just tested them. That's always a great thing, or oil pastels, and it's always a great thing to do to test your paints and supplies. And here I wrote the brand that I got, and then a sample of each color. Because what ends up happening is once your oil pastel, that paper peels down, you can't always read what color or brand it is. So it's good to have a record, and I can just look back at this and see what I like and reorder it. Now here's the bummer, sometimes it can be an interesting thing, about oil pastels, is that when you close your book, it's going to transfer. So of course you can seal them with some sealant, some spray sealant to stop that from happening, or you can put wax paper in between the pages. I usually don't care. This is for expression for me. It's just to get things out. And you can see the wings of this angel on this page. I kind of like that, actually. This was another one I was working out for an art journaling class. That one's unfinished, but it will probably always remain that way. I doubt I'll revisit anything in here. And there's Georgia O'Keeffe, opposite a flower that is not a Georgia O'Keeffe flower. That I was working out for a class. This, I just loved the image, the photograph, and wanted to paint it. I loved those fingers. And you can see the red from the flower on her face, and I kind of like that too. Some of these are more interesting, some of them less interesting. Looks like I may have worked out some anger there. You can see the black from around the phoenix on this page. And this little fellow, he just popped out onto my page. I don't know why. Looks like I'm getting a little bit more whimsical here. Maybe I was feeling better. And this guy's going to show up in a class at some point, or an art snack. I'm not sure which. And then she's looking suspiciously at him. And this is an ode to a famous painter. See if you can guess who it is and put it in the comments. This was a class you might remember. It was a woman in a hat. Didn't turn out quite as well in oil pastels. I didn't have the, I couldn't get the fine details in there. But it felt good to do. This was after another famous painting. And this was me yesterday feeling like I was just floating away, just taken by the current of life. Helps to work these things out. So that's it. There's my journal tour, and it's November, and this is how far I've gotten in this journal in November. But this is probably one of 3 or 4 that I've been working in this year. So anyway, have fun, go make art, get yourself some oil pastels. They're pretty amazing. And I'll see you later.